Hey, did you know you can make coffee from a K-Cup without the need of a Keurig machine? Not only that, you can get better tasting results doing it that way than you would out of the Keurig. Here's 4 ways to make a K-Cup without the need of a Keurig. So the first way to make a K-Cup without a Keurig machine is to first steep the grounds and then filter it out using the K-Cups filter. So first what you want to do is cut off the bottom of a K-Cup. And then you cut the top off of another one, take the coffee and dump it in something. You're gonna want something that you can pour easily because you're gonna have to pour it out later. And then you just wanna add hot water to it just to wet the grounds. Let it sit for 30 seconds, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna bloom the coffee and it's gonna release some of the gases that are trapped in the beans, which brings out more of the natural flavors. And so after 30 seconds, you just want to pour in more hot water. And then you're going to want to let it sit for anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes. If you want to go darker with it, you can just let it steep for like 5 minutes or so. Alright, after the coffee is steeped for 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to want to filter it out using your empty K-Cup with the bottom cut off of it. And the coffee is still going to be hot, so you want to use something to hold the K-Cup up with, so you don't have to hold it with your hands. Then you just slowly pour in the coffee. And then the slower you pour, the more bold the flavor is going to be. So if you're looking for something a little stronger, you're going to want to kind of lightly pour water in. After that's done, just throw away the empty K-Cup with the coffee grounds in it, and you got a cup of coffee. Alright, the second way to make coffee from a K-Cup without a Keurig is to put it into a French press. I'm gonna be honest, these next few are kind of all the same. You just cut the tops off the K-Cups, dump them out, and use the coffee grounds like you normally would. But if you don't know how to make a French press, never used a pour over, then stick around and you're gonna learn how. Alright, now we got the top cut off. We're gonna put the coffee into the French press. This way's a lot like the last one too, because they're both basically French press methods. The other one's just using the coffee filter in the K-Cup to filter out the coffee grounds after. So again, you want to just wet the coffee grounds with water that's just off a boil. Let it sit for 30 seconds. Once 30 seconds has passed, you're going to want to add in your hot water. And again, you're going to want to let it steep for 2 to 3 minutes. If you want it stronger, go to 5 minutes, maybe even 10. Depends how you like it. I will say, if you let it brew and steep for a longer time and it's stronger, it works really well for iced coffee. After 2 to 3 minutes have passed, you're ready to push the plunger down. You got a cup of coffee. We're gonna use the pour over for this method. So cut off the top of the coffee. Got the top off the coffee. Put our pour over in place. And then you got filters that look like that. You're gonna wanna go from the bottom first and fold over the side. Open it up, put it in there, and then you just wanna run a little bit of hot water through it to get any paper taste that may linger on from the filter. After you do that, you can add your coffee grounds in. Make sure it's level. And just like the last two methods, we just wet the coffee grounds, let it sit for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you're going to want to add more water, and you're going to want to go slow in concentric circles, getting all of the grounds. The slower you go, the more flavor you're gonna get. If you go too fast, it can be a little watered down. And then just let that filter through. After it's filtered, you got a cup of coffee. Obviously, you can take out the coffee grounds from a K-cup and use it in just about any way you can make coffee, in a mocha pot or in a drip pot. You'll probably need more than just one if you're doing a drip coffee maker, but you can still, I've done it before. All right, and our final way to make coffee from a K-cup without using a Keurig machine kind of piggybacks off of a couple of the other ways, but this is gonna be a double brew. So double brew is just what the name suggests, and it's a cup of coffee that's brewed twice. So the second time around when you're making the cup of coffee, you have the coffee grounds. Instead of using water for that, you use already made coffee. But if you have a Keurig, do not run coffee through it because you can break your Keurig. So French presses, pour overs are great for double brews. So basically, I have coffee left over in the French press. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the top off another K-cup. And then put it in the already made coffee. You want to stir it too, make sure all the grounds are wet. And then let that steep for 1.5 to 2 minutes, maybe 3. Double brew coffee is really strong both in flavor and caffeine. So if you wait too long steeping it, you may find quickly that you overdid it. So after 2 and 3 minutes of that passes, you push the plunger down. And you're ready to get a lot of work done. So there it is, 4 ways to make coffee from a K-cup without using a Keurig machine. Now go ahead and do a favor for me and take that like button out for a coffee date. Subscribe too.